Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Zelda Speedruns for the continuing coverage for Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament. Tonight we got a matchup of a couple of 2-in-1 competitors, AmazingAmpharos and Ellendar. I have the Countess and Thierwolf with me on comms. Guys,
Hello.
Take it away.
Hey, how's it going, Countess?
For some shakeups early on in the bracket, but
Yeah, but 2-in-1, looking for a real good close match. We'll see what the seed gives them, because sometimes the seeds are free, sometimes you're hunting for that one required item somewhere.
yep. Let's see, looks like they're off.
Yeah, we got Zelda versus Link here. Classic battle.
Let's see, both of them heading to the left.
Yeah.
AA jumps on the
gets
small tile.
just a one-up. It's always nice to get that initial key bag, but
Yeah. There's a couple of those tiles like that are just one screen and small items that are nice to jump in early on in case you do get a big P bag. Both find the town of Saria. And I'll look for a hint in here and a free spell.
will they talk to the bot? AA looks like no, and Ellendar no. The bot is kind of out of the way.
Yeah, and you'd have to talk to it 4 times before it tells you anything.
So spells are kind of important. Good early spells, something that will get you down stab. Fairy will work.
That's a good one. That's 100 at magic 1.
Yeah.
It should drop soon.
I mean, it's possible for it to take quite a while, but hopefully it'll drop for their sake.
Yeah. It's usually castable by magic 3. Not unlikely for it to be castable at magic 2, though. Yeah, an item cave on Ellendar's screen, and AmazingAmpharos is looking in Death Mountain.
Yeah, there's only 3 accessible caves, so it doesn't take too long to check those on the off chance. Ellendar just bounced out, though, which is also a play.
Yeah.
That's going to help cast that fairy at some point.
Yeah, that's true. Now they've got 80 total magic, and it cost 100, so... I've got notes that say average fairy cost at level 2 is 66, so... If they get that magic 2, which... Nope, AA isn't taken, he's waiting for attack 2. It'll very likely be castable next level.
Yeah, the first couple levels aren't really that hard to get, especially with the possibility of P-backs dropping from everything.
Yeah. The attack 1's pretty cheap, or attack 2's pretty cheap this time. Looks like 160 is attack 2. May as well hold out for it. I believe in vanilla it costs 200, so it can be swing quite a ways from that.
I appreciate this cave with the single line. And there's another cave, but it is item cave.
Yep. This is the heart container cave in vanilla. Ooh, a P-bag dropped. There's a 500 point bag.
That's gonna be nice.
I think it's a magic and attack 2. And life 2. Or life 3, actually. You already had life 2.
Yeah, that first life level is just so free. You just have to kill a couple things and you get it.
Looks like
What a
AA got one
reward.
too. Was that a 50 point bag in the cave?
Yeah, 50 points. Get more from killing enemies.
It looks like fairies cost only dropped to 81, and they have 80 maximum, so they gotta wait another level or find another jar before they can cast it.
Thanks, game.
That can be unfortunate if you start out in a small area, because at this point the game expects you to be able to get through locked doors since you have the fairy spell, but it doesn't take into account the fact that you might have to grind a magic level or two before you can cast it.
Palace 5, is there any worse place for the raft to be?
Yeah, especially if it's like the only place you can get to. Having to go in there at low levels is pretty rough.
Okay, so Ellendar went through the Parappa Pass and found out that, hey, it's to the right of the start. Huzzah.
Ah.
I would not be surprised to do AA do the exact same move and find himself over there. Boulder block.
Well, there's this bridge encounter here.
You don't often see those where you're going across the bridge to get across a river. Sometimes it's just solid rivers.
It's another palace? No, it's a great palace,
Oh,
so
okay.
that is not more appealing. Another item cave, though. Medicine cave.
I'm not looking forward to when this changes to mix large and small enemies. That gets dicey.
I want the mix large and small, and I want the candle to go away. I'm really waiting for semifinals flags. I hope I get there.
Well, it'll happen.
Those two and getting rid of the randomized drops are the flags I want to play on, but I gotta get to semifinals before I get all three of those. I don't remember what changes in the first round of brackets.
Unsafe path and probably... It does remove the candle, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. I think the random drops are still there, though, and I don't know about the large and small enemies.
I do think the large and small enemies do make an appearance there.
Ah.
At least I was playing some sort of bracket flags earlier and it had that, but you never know what tournament they're talking about when it's let's play brackets.
Yeah.
Rudo. Now, would you go in there and find out where the trophy is?
I usually would not unless I am later in the game and I know that I need a spell item. Like, if it's... Like, even if I know where one of them is, I might go in there if I'm walking past it. But I usually don't like going into town just for one hint.
Yeah. I think if I found the other places and I'm still missing, like, all the overworld hints to where Rudo probably has a hint, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's if the first two spells are garbage that aren't required.
Yeah. For the item hint, it'd depend on like what I'm missing and where it could possibly be, because it's also likely, if it is a hint, that it might be like a tell you where a P-bag is or an item you've already picked up, so it's a lot to consider, I think, in valuing hints. But the spell hint specifically, I'll definitely go get it if I know I need one of the spell items, but if I don't, I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, if you know you need like a spell item, that usually is a good play, especially if you have a lot of item locations left that are very unappealing.
Hey, Fairy is castable at Magic 3, it costs 52, so it's still above average cost, but not by much. It's enough that Ellendar can pick up Downstab, though.
I always will talk to the guy in Vito just for that possible hint. It's just one dude, so if there's a hint in the town, it's there, but Ellendar wants that downstab real bad.
And for Mito, I'll usually wait until I can get Downstab to come in here, but then I'll pick up both of the hints.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was a good hint, though. Go west to find the boots, so...
West for boots. So we've seen one boulder block cave, but we haven't seen the grass tile. So there's a unknown cave and grass tile left.
Kuma sits on the medicine, so that'll be good to know, because they don't want to dig P5 if they don't need to. So now they can put off Palace 5 until later when they know whether or not they should look for the medicine.
Yeah, and given that 5 is in the west, too, that means that's not a raft spot.
Yeah.
And we've also seen GP, so there's only one palace that could potentially be required.
Yeah. Honestly, if it were me, I'd be happier knowing what isn't in Palace 5 than knowing where the medicine is. Knowing that I don't have to go in there for the raft, basically.
Yeah, Palace 5 sucks, so having that knowledge, very nice. Unless, of course, it's, has the required something.
Yeah.
Are we going through Jump Cave? I mean, we need to get north somehow. And I guess this is definitely a way we could try to get there.
Yeah. I think we have seen all of this area. I think there was like a swamp in the top right under the river. I didn't see what was in the full bottom right corner. It's like AmazingAmpharos is going there now, though.
Yeah, I think it's a whole bunch of nothing. But just casual killing of enemies is getting them some nice levels. Yeah, I kind of thought we had seen the other side of Jump, but it's definitely the other side of Jump. I don't know if Ellendar actually did see that. I'm guessing not, since he went through Jump Cave. So going through Saria would be the option, I guess?
Yeah. I don't think we've seen any other pass-throughs. Unless Fairy Cave is around. I think I saw one grave tile, but actually I think one of the players stepped on it and it was King's Tomb.
Yeah. So either you go through Saria or you go back to Death Mountain.
Yeah.
I would vote Saria.
I think most people would.
I mean, maybe nah, not with Fairy. I wouldn't even bother with Bagu or even consider it. Just nah.
Yeah. What's this cave over here by the raft tile? Do we know what that is? Ellendar's headed over.
I don't think we've seen that yet. I don't think we even saw the raft tile was over here.
It's Death Mountain again.
Okay, so Saria.
Well, there's a lot of cave entrances over here. Looks like Ellendar might be checking them. Hey, the bot in Saria did have a hint. Horsehead neighs with the 500 point tag.
Alright, so the one time I would talk to the bot is if I'm going through Saria, because it's right there.
Yeah.
At that point, you're outside. Why not? If you found P1, would you go for the 500 point bag?
Well, maybe if I were jumping in it like right now, but if I didn't have any like level 2s going on, I probably wouldn't bother.
Yeah, I think if like P1 is forcing you left, which sometimes it does, maybe I would go get it if I found the room. It would really depend on my experience total, though.
Yeah.
Well, a whole lot of nothing up here so far.
It's a bridge that overlaps the road.
As you do. Nice overpass. And there is the last palace, but hey, he's definitely trying to find those items. Oh, hey, Robert.
I feel like that long bridge, when it goes north to south, almost always has one thin strip of graves right underneath it. I see that all the time.
So, Helmet Head guards the magic key.
Oh. They found 3 hints already.
Yeah, that's not bad.
This is the point where I wouldn't even try finding the other one. If I find that many this early, then the odds of finding another one in each town you pop in are a lot lower. There's only 4 total, so if you found 3, I've only checked like 4 locations, maybe. King's Cross and 3 towns.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't go out of my way for it, but if it happened to be in my face, I'd talk to someone.
Yeah,
P4 or...
Certainly wouldn't do like the old Katsudo tent.
I don't think there's any scenario where I do old Katsudo.
Yeah.
Alright, they have met up, and they're gonna get the last 2 items that are available here. Boots.
50-point drop. It's not as appealing as the 500s that were in the south. Do North versus South have different drops?
I don't think so. I think it's just one drop table.
Okay.
For, you know, the small enemies and then the large enemies. So I guess 2 drop tables, but yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I was pretty sure that Palaces had a different drop table, but I didn't know if North versus South did, since they've got like different encounter zones and stuff too.
Okay, so Raft is going to be either 4 or Death Mountain.
Yep.
I mean, I would just go into 4, which kind of sucks given the key door situation.
I'd probably choose 4 as well, unless Death Mountain let, like, if I could access the water with, but you can't in this seed.
Yeah, both Death Mountain entrances. One just had the 3 caves, then the other one was just...
Yeah, it looked like it was in the corner.
Yeah, the bottom left corner. Yeah, only 1 hit per town, so no need to talk to anyone else once you see the hit. And, you know, maybe you get some magic levels in here to, like, refill your magic after you've ferried through some doors or something.
They do have the fire spell. Wonder what that casts.
A
small chance it's reflect. It wasn't jump or shield or...
Yeah, not life, so... Not fairy.
Yeah. It gives you about a 1/3 chance of reflect. Could be spell thunder as well.
Yeah, wouldn't mind seeing a test of that, but gonna need more magic power. Oh, the item in 4 is free.
Oh, wow. Oh, almost free.
Oh, Ellendar's not going to 4, though, so interesting.
Yeah, if this ends up not being the Raft, then that will be an interesting play.
Well, moment of truth if you can get past this fun little dude.
It is the Raft.
It is the Raft. So at this point, something really good has to be in Death Mountain, like Glove.
Yeah. Yeah, because with all the hints off the table, like, there's a very low chance that if it is a good item, that it would be, like, revealed in a hint, so AA would probably come here pretty late. Oh, wow, Ellendar's first cave just goes to a dead end.
That is just the game laughing at you right there, a little bit.
At least it's an elevator room, so if this top one goes somewhere... Yeah, this goes to the water, maybe. I always forget if you can walk on the north edge of the water.
Not in this case.
Ah, okay. Well, this is an unfortunate Death Mountain.
I mean, it might just be magic through the right cave and you're good, but... Oh man, yeah.
AA's still going. Does this mean fire is reflect?
It might be. I didn't catch him test and figure that out, but it very well could be.
Yeah. Might have... Like, if he just used it with small enemies on the screen, he'd know, or he could have tested it on a Doom Knocker or something. But...
Oh, wow. So, Ellendar has seen all the exits from this 4-way. I think he's going to go back to that one isolated section and try another path, perhaps. No?
Wow.
Spinning in circles.
Right before Ellendar up aid, there was a death, and I was kind of expecting with the magic refill for fire to get tested against the enemies that were there. But
yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting.
And then if it did turn out to be reflect, you could base your decision to go into Death Mountain versus 4 on that.
Yeah, that would have been no, I'm not gonna test on that guy. I think Ellendar's just committing to this Death Mountain at this point. Which,
Yeah.
Hammer Cave. Oof.
And it's still pretty early in the race, but if you do lose a few minutes in Death Mountain, you start to think about, do I have to commit to this and make sure it's worth it before just deciding to eat all the time. Fire is reflect. AA is fighting Kirok.
So AA is gonna be leaping out to a lead here. There's not many ways to regain lost time in this game, but if Death Mountain is required, that would be one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be the glove or the flute.
Could be the kid blocking thunder.
Yeah.
Never know. Oh wow. I think Ellendar just keeps seeing the exact same caves over and over, just in different order. There might be like one cave that exits this initial starting area. Or you have to take a different cave at the very beginning, perhaps?
I think at the moment this is that second starting area. So they must be connected.
Yeah, I think they connect. Alright, lava. AA is gonna go on to the east, leave P5 for last, basically, which is a nice play.
Yeah, he knows what items in there, and no sense in going in there at lower levels when you could go in at higher levels.
That, and you can base your decision on whether or not you need to dig out that medicine by finding all these spells over here.
Yep.
Ellendar did finally kind of break out of that first initial troll garbage and has some caves.
Yeah. See, there's access to the coast as well, which is nice when you got the boots. There's Hammer Cave. Now we're gonna find out.
Oh, 7 magic jars required for her item.
Yeah. They've already got 6, though.
Yeah, but there's only 2 left, so... Ellendar is down to last life, so we'll have to see. But
Yeah.
should be fine.
Yeah, with the cast of fairy, it shouldn't be too dangerous. Just make it to that last room and fly over everything. Also, having down stab is really nice for Dairas.
There's even a chance you could get that 820 experience, but I probably wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
I think the biggest worry was that bot being a jerk and trying to hit you into the lava.
No kid in Death Mountain, so we don't know if it's required yet, but it might be.
Yeah, that's an interesting find. It could be. As AA keeps fighting these towns, well, there's Darunia.
Yeah.
We're gonna see an upstab grab, it looks like.
So I guess AA will get the hint about what's in Death Mountain.
Now the thing is, the hint doesn't tell you if it's under the boulder or not, but...
Yeah. I didn't even see where the boulder was.
I don't think we saw it. Could be wrong.
Well, if it's accessible by the water, it's not too hard to find compared to finding Hammer Cave.
Yeah, if need be, Ellendar should have a good path back out to that openish area.
Yeah.
He's gonna see this and be like, well, I guess we're not getting that. I would probably be more inclined to go into 5 for the medicine than that.
Yeah.
Perhaps if Death Mountain was more open, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, and he'd seen what both of the entrances look like.
Just exploring around. There's a water tile.
Ellendar's raft. Oh, kills a blue knuckle and realizes gotta die to get that magic refill.
Trophy was in the east, apparently.
No. So they've got all of the spell items, at least location known.
Yeah, because Nuke Pseudo decided not to be hammer blocked, so that's not a concern. Ellendar might feel a little bad about that raft pickup. But on the plus side, Ellendar never got that hint about what was in 5, I think. No, he must have. It was the other item hint in Mito he ignored, which is about boots, which he already has, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Here's a 500 point bag. Kinda late, but whatever.
AA prioritizing that experience.
Could have taken Magic 5 there, but didn't. I wonder if Fairy costs 48 or less. It looks like it's pretty close.
Maybe.
At this point in the game, I think they had the hint for the magic key, but they, like, only having the fairy spell available, I'd try to get it to be able to be castable twice, or focusing attack higher than 5, or higher than 4.
Yeah, 46. So.
Yeah, 46. Yeah, I wouldn't be so greedy as to try to get it castable 3 times. In fact, on average, I think fairy is, oh no, it's castable 3 times here at like magic 6.
Hammer. That's more useful than the cross, but
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd backtrack west anytime soon. The glove is hiding. Ellendar does not find Karok, and because of the fairy situation, decides gonna leave those key doors behind. Does mean you're gonna have to backtrack to 4 at another point, which kind of sucks, given its location.
Actually, it might not have been a terrible spot for AA to up A from, because I had to get like 4 encounters so far to get back to the path. But the next time he up A's, he can go straight to that older cave we saw, because that was right by start.
And, you know, sometimes the game will just be like, go back.
Yeah.
I always appreciate when an encounter happens on the tile you're trying to enter.
Yeah, like 100% of the time.
Yeah, at least over 50, I would say. So we have seen Palace 2, just a magic key in there, but
I would probably jump in there for it if I know Palace is complete. There's a small chance of a hammer block, or a glove block, but it's not the most likely dungeon to be blocked.
I think the possibility of a glove block would probably keep me out of it for now. So when AA goes back east, has enough magic containers for the lady.
Yeah.
I'm gonna trade in this trophy. That's a good call. Not gonna bother with further hints. Although glove is outstanding, but the odds of you getting the hint for glove probably pretty low.
Yeah. Well, it's the spells. No, Nikutsudo has 2 items available for AA.
Yeah, I think that's kind of obvious. Just go there.
Ellendar is diving too.
Yeah, hopefully there's no glove block.
Yeah. Or if there is, hopefully it's not helmet head. Like, if it is blocking the item, you can just cut your losses and finish the boss. I think at Magic 3, Fairy is only castable once. Oh, glove block immediately. Well, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Not much time lost, at least.
No. And you don't know if the splits are to the left or past the glove block, so
Yeah.
leaving seems like a good move.
Well, there weren't any forks, I believe. I think it was forced straight into that glove
Oh,
block.
was it straight into that? Then yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was a down elevator going left. Maze Island is a place.
Yeah. Good place to be if you've got the boots, and it looks like that river is fairly handy, though it's stretched across the bottom.
Yeah, but still.
Item cave right away.
Oh.
AA is actually diving Death Mountain.
Looking for the boulder, probably, but that's an interesting play. I mean,
Yeah.
you did see the thing about the kid.
Yeah.
And since Ellendar got that immediate glove, just gonna kind of wander on back over here. You know, not a bad call.
Yeah, like, this palace is pretty small, and having the magic key can save time in the longer palaces, like P5, if you don't have to cast Fairy a lot and die to get your magic back.
Yeah, also useful in 6, which
Yeah.
can have a lot of key doors and very required for other things than key doors.
Yeah.
We'll see how long AA spends circling this Death Mountain. Looks like discovering that, yes, this area all kind of has links into itself, like a silly place. There is the possibility that the flute is under the boulder, if AA finds that.
Yeah.
I've seen a River Devil. Nice stripper enemy. The move. So Glove was on Maze Island really quick.
Yeah.
And here's a very quick boss here. So if you find the boss at P2 really quickly, would you go for that magic key?
That's a
I
good
guess the answer to
question.
that is yes.
Oh,
On the plus side, you know it's not a right. So... Oh, wow, that's it. I mean, this room,
not
the odds of
kill
getting
more of
those
those
things. Yeah, no. Just go kill some random dudes. It'll be fine. Now, this play, skipping both these 2 levels so you get that attack level while getting the magic key, I can get behind that.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 'cause with the magic key, you don't need the magic level as much. Can AA just snope out of the hammer cave?
Yeah. I guess looking for that boulder.
Oh, probably gonna get the boulder item, then up A out of the hammer cave.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Assuming... Oh, wow, Boulder's free.
Alright. That's a jar. Well...
well, it's an item. Probably not a factor, but...
Yeah.
You know, we got it.
Kid might be a factor, but now they've both got it, and they both probably spent about the same time on it. I think AA might have found it a little faster. So, whether it pays off or not, it kind of cancels itself out.
Yeah, so they're kind of evening up a little bit. Although Ellendar's going to have to go back to 4.
Yeah, it's like
And
the
Ellendar's
Palace
been
2
in this-
versus the P4 revisit.
Yeah. Ooh.
Not quick enough on the draw.
Yeah, and you gotta be careful here.
Yeah, you don't want to game over with the XP after passing up some levels.
No, not at all.
Oh, I thought that hit for sure.
Oh man, that's a little scary. Do you have a key?
Okay.
Alright, 1 key enough. Stole the key from the boss, so that helped.
Yeah.
Now you just have to get past this and not game over.
Careful.
Alright, I think Ellendar's good. And AA is gonna adopt a child.
Yep. Ooh. Ooh, another knuckle.
Living on the edge. Just kind of
The block.
let me get to the... let me place my gem. Alright, we'll see if there's anything of value in Nuke Pseudo here. Ellendar needs to refine the way to go here.
500 point bag.
I mean, it's 500 points. I wouldn't say no to it.
Ellendar got hit again.
Oh wow, you are on the edge right there.
Oh no. Alright, home free.
Huzzah! Unless, you know, one of those helmets is still flying around now. Oh, okay. And I guess AA's really hoping for probably the flute is the only thing of value that could be here.
Another point bag. It's 2 500 point bags in New Katsuno.
That's gotta feel really disappointing.
Yeah.
So, spell, not helpful.
And that whole trip really, like, heading to the west to get that Boulder Cave, then Death Mountain, then New Katsuno, didn't really give anything but the kid.
And the kid might just be nothing, because we haven't seen Old Kasuto yet. Be interesting to see if Ellendar looks like might, well, trying to get to the palace without an encounter. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. That was fun anyway. Alright, A's going to tell us if this kid is worth a thing.
Not good. We've been waiting 20 minutes. A little less. I think it was 22 or 23 when Ellendar got the kid.
Yeah, quite a while ago. Ellendar's pathing in the east just hasn't gone that way. P6 on Maze Island. Well, you got a magic key, you got a glove, you got a berry. That's disappointing. So either Old Kasuto or we're gonna have to go into 5 for medicine. Which, you know, P5 and GP are near each other.
Yep.
Vito's also kind of around there somewhere. I guess the biggest unknown right now is the Flute's 3-Eye Rock Palace in play, since we haven't seen the other overworld one. Alright, item room in 6. AA is still going on to forest tiles for the experience, and the MOAs are being jerks, as they do.
Another 500 point bag. Well, they've all added up.
Yeah, if the MOAs weren't draining XP, AA would have gotten that level, but they were. I'm guessing it was a heart in 6, since the hearts are at 6 now.
Yeah, I completely missed it.
Yeah, that's the second heart container that we've seen, so yay, hearts. I'm guessing this palace forces a left, since right just led to the item. Yay. AA is taking all the wrong ways. Has missed the easy way to the glove.
Oh, yeah. Now, the glove was immediately accessible on the left side. Did we see what the second item was?
Not yet. I think AA
Okay.
might find it.
There it is.
Oh, Ellendar, don't do that.
It's a heart. Well, hopefully AA finds the glove and feels a little better.
Yeah, probably will.
That's like 7 items in a row that weren't helpful, though.
It feels bad. When you're full clearing a seed, it just... oof. I think the worst thing for AA would be if old Kasuto had Thunder and Ellendar just found it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your reward. It's the other left. AA is full clearing this Maze Island, unfortunately. I don't know if that left section... No, you can walk there, so... Gonna approach it from behind.
Okay, he's going through it, so he'll find the glove.
And Ellendar is definitely on the right path, because we've seen all the others.
Yeah. Another encounter.
Wow, there's an encounter here. 2 steps away. Nice. Thanks, game.
There it is.
Now at this point, A is probably going to go into 6. Doesn't know that it's 6, but could be 3, as far as AA knows.
He didn't have the magic key, but he does have 8 bars of magic.
Yeah, that's going to help with the fairy casting. So notably, we don't have the jump spell. So Ellendar's just fallen here. We haven't seen either of the right side dead ends, and you know you have to be able to exit the palace from them. The drop destinations.
Yeah.
The Moa.
Oh, the Doomknocker jumping up on top of the blocks.
You thought you could escape? No. Oh, that's rough. I would be very inclined to... shields is definitely a thing. I'd probably just fairy through this. Although with Magic 3 and unable to cast Fairy multiple times, a little concerning.
Yeah.
Already seen the Fairy room, but there's the Fairy drop that could be in play. Yeah, I don't think Ellendar's comfortable with the big jumps. Given the ferry across that. This is a good sign. No, it's the annoying room, as I call it.
The fake
It's not the
Redneck room.
Rebo. Yeah, if that was the Rebenek, that would have been a good sign that maybe you were close, but no. As it is, there's still a lot more of this 6 that we haven't seen, which is unfortunate. So I think Ellendar's on last life. AA gets... Oh, wow. And that even loops there. Nice. AA is choosing the right-left.
Yeah. In the
So
same
that's
room.
good. Yep. At 45 minutes, they've synced up. Just to accomplish different things. No. I'm very happy when Moas decide to go in there instead of those little skulls.
There's like multiple reasons to not like that room. Sometimes it loops on itself, so you walk all the way to the right and the elevator leads to itself, so you gotta go back to the left.
Yeah, it's one of the sad things that can happen here. So we have rights here. So I guess this is the fair required room. So we have seen all the fair required stuff. You might have to make this jump, and if Ellendar's not comfortable with that, that's not good.
The Mo and the Blue Knuckle are not helping. Got it though.
Oh, very nice. Now I just have to survive.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, you get it once, you can do it again, right?
AA does not make it because of the Blue Knuckle. Would have gotten stabbed in the back if he tried it.
I would be inclined to drop all the way and see if it's that last drop destination.
Ellendar makes it, but turns
Oh,
to block
wow.
the sword and falls in.
And just to up A's to go back. So we've seen this drop destination on AA's side, but we haven't seen the one with the columns of blocks. And that could just be what's on the other side of that Canadian hole room.
Yeah.
That would make sense as far as you can escape from there. Are we missing any other rights, though? I think we've seen every drop room. Yeah, it's just gonna be some weird path, I think. If it's not just this.
AA's already had to die a couple of times to get magic refilled. That's where the magic key's gonna be the time save for Ellendar.
Yeah, A takes the time to go get that key, which is a nice play. Alright, now you gotta just kinda... Oh wow, that worked. And it's the dead end.
Oh. Wow.
So, given that, I think it's some weird left that loops right. I think we've seen all the possible rights, so there's gonna be some left, somewhere in here.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna loop to him. Rough.
I don't think we've seen the other drop, so it could be like a left that goes to the drop that goes to that very required drop room.
No, we have, actually.
Oh, okay.
They take that first the drop with just kind of the tiny hole that you fall.
Yeah.
They take that, and then that goes to the fairy room where they go right, and then that's the Canadian hole room.
Ah.
I don't think this left can be it because it's before the drop chain that Ellendar's going. I don't think there's any way back to this section because you do go through that drop first. So I think this is the second left dead end for Ellendar. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's the possible red jar in the statue. AA has the life spell, but Ellendar does not. So that red jar doesn't do much for Ellendar. Okay, yeah. I think Ellendar got a little confused. What's down this elevator? Alright, AA might be in a good place here.
Fire is linked with reflect.
Yeah, very useful to not have to get reflect, which is kid blocked, which I guess they could have just easily get, but still.
Yeah, they both got the kid now, so kid was kind of a whiff for him.
Yeah, AA has found the Rebo, and the Barba's just gotta be right over to the right. Ellendar is going back right. Is gonna find that there's just the item room again. Just has missed that one elevator down that AA took. 300 experience. Oof. Even killing Barba, there's no possibility of getting that next level.
Yeah.
Tried to upstab that Barba, didn't quite work. Hey, there you go. I don't know the last time I've ever attempted to upstab Barba. I go for the jump and stab, but
Yeah.
it works.
I'm always paranoid I'm gonna get hit and fall off or something if I try to jump into him.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've died to Barba, but every time you die, it's just so rough.
Yeah.
Once he gets down to that final bar, just gotta be real careful. Man, that Barba's chin has taken a beating.
Alright, Barba down.
I think Ellendar needs to go down this.
Yeah, I think that's correct. The MOAs are not having any of it though.
No.
Ooh.
Oh wow, that was a lot of damage. Life 4 is not great.
Yeah.
Alright, AA's moving on. Has a comfortable 556. 4 gems still to place, so you're gonna end up with some very nice levels there. And Ellendar has found the path. Alright, so where are we gonna go, AA? I guess you are concerned about Thunder, which he knows is either Medicine or Kasuto. So find Kasuto.
Yeah.
and find that last palace to see if by some chance it's not very flute blocked. Oh, I guess I never got shield yet. It was Ellendar who got that.
I think my focus right now would be on finding that last palace just to get eyes on it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a P-bag cave, but who cares, really?
Yeah. I'm not gonna focus on finding the flute till I know I need it, though.
It's possible you're going to be forced into a pass-through cave at some point. You never really know with the east.
Yeah. Ooh, knocked in the lava.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah. And now you're on your last life, so now you're even more paranoid.
Yeah.
That River Devil's just sitting there on that road saying, am I actually required?
Yeah, and I don't think you can walk around it with the boots, because I saw AA try to walk around on the east side. AA jumped in the palace. I think this is 2.
Yeah, just got a knockout too. Knows the item in here is key. I'd be surprised at this point if AA cared.
Yeah, Magic 5 and 8 bars, probably not worried about it. 2 palaces down as well.
Especially 4 and 6, which are very key door heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 and Vanilla has no keys in it other than the ones the Rebinax and Barba drop. Though there's a couple in the extra set because the P-bags and extra life that are in there. They all turn into keys with this flag.
Yeah. Though, typically you don't bother. Alright, that's gonna work out for Ellendar. Skipping past those, gonna get some attack 6.
Okay.
That'll help against Goomba and Thunderbird, possibly.
And now we're starting to see a difference in their leveling strategies just because of the magic key, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It'll be interesting to see if Ellendar decides to go for 7, or at that point just use that experience to increase things. I don't know.
Yeah. 4 palaces left. May as well go for 7, I'd say. Unless the palace is like P1 and you don't get enough XP to get there.
Yeah, we haven't seen P1 yet. It's somewhere.
Yeah.
It's either Death Valley or that other East Palace shared with 3. Okay. How do you get to the rest of this continent, though? No, that's just a forest tile that got overwritten by road. It's not New Kasuto.
Hey, it's not jumping into VOD yet.
You know, 3's item is... I mean, we got 2 unknown items at this point. 3 and then the other P-bag cave. One of those is a flute. And I guess the other is a heart container.
Yeah.
I think we're going to Death Valley.
Ellendar's headed there.
Yep. Ellendar's missing a lot of spells, too. Doesn't know anything about kind of Thunder's status yet.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. AA is taking some pass-through caves, trying to get to the rest of this continent, which I'm guessing is north of the River Devil. Oh, we need a flute.
Oh, okay, there's our confirmation.
So either 3's item which depending on if 3 is under that. And
Yeah.
we're going to find out if Thunder is behind Medicine or not.
I'm not sure which, like, how much of that information each player has, but it is possible. Like, I guess Ellendar confirms that it's not in Palace 3, so we know the flute's in that P-Bag Cave then. But, again, we don't know if either player has enough information to know that. But
I think at this point, AA does know about the Medicine blocking Thunder, has found all the other spells. Ellendar is very far behind on spells. If AA searches all this area, it just might have the P-Bag Cave that has the flute in it. Yeah, so neither player has the Medicine yet, they just got the hint, so neither one has dipped into 5. It'll be interesting. Yeah, on the tracker, the Medicine needs to be off there, and trophy for AA marked, since AA is cashed in the trophy.
okay. Well, AA is going into 5.
Yeah. Knows it's required. Also knows about the flute block. I don't know what AA has eliminated it down to for flute. We got the hint for the 500 bag in 1, which Ellendar's gonna, I guess, pick up. Which, you know, that might put him over to getting that attack 7 if that's the leveling strategy.
Yeah. Looks like he's going for it, killing that Stalfos, even though it's not worth too much.
Yeah, so normally, just a comment for the tracker. Normally when you get information that an item is in a palace, you just mark it on your tracker just so you know that it's there, even if you don't have it. Marking it on track doesn't mean you necessarily have the item, it's just for your own records. So would you prioritize Guma or Medicine if you're AA?
I don't know, probably Medicine. Because if I need both, I'll probably just go left for the item first. Yeah, we have a hint for the Medicine.
Yeah. When they got down step, they figured out where that was.
And they do both know it, so as like when Ellendar narrows down which spell it is, then it won't be too bad of a hunt for Thunder. I don't know if Ellendar knows where the trophy is, though. That was just hanging on Water Tile. It's not too hard to find.
Ellendar just hasn't done kind of the south part of the East Continent where New Kasuto was, plus the Water Tile, and the Cross and the other B-Bag Cave.
Kid was Reflect.
Yeah, Kid was Reflect, which doesn't matter because Fire is also Reflect.
Looks like Trophy was Spell, which didn't lead to anything interesting in New Katsudo. Both items in New Katsudo were 500 point bags.
And Ellendar's going to get a nice experience payoff here.
3 hit on Horsehead. 20 XP. Just to insult. It's fine, Horsehead's never worth meaningful XP anyway. Most he can be worth is 150. Or 100, actually.
Yeah, I've seen 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 50 in vanilla, then it's up 70 and 100. I forget about the 70 a lot.
Okay, so Ellendar is going to use that 540 to boost up some life. Should help with the dying. Interesting, saves back. Is Ellendar going to hop into 5?
Well, it was just the Palace and Valley of Death, and Ellendar doesn't have very
Yeah.
many casts of Fairy. So it's probably
Fair
not
point.
any slower to just walk across the water. But it looks like we are going to see Palace 5.
Ellendar's going to go back and beat 4, it looks like.
Oh, right.
Which is just kind of tucked away up here.
Yeah. Forgot that was outstanding.
Yeah, just some cleanup work here.
Key situation. Ellendar has the magic key, which was in Palace 2. AA didn't even go for it, but with this much magic, I believe Fairy can be cast 4 times at this point. At Magic 6. Costs 27. And there was a hint for the magic key, so AA knew where it was, but already had like Magic 5 at that point. Yeah, they both know medicine is in 5.
We have found half the 5 puzzle with Guma here. He's just kind of keeping him off screen, it looks like, trying to despawn the mace. So Ellendar back and 4, I'm not sure what the path was. I just know Ellendar did not only had the 1 fairy cast, and there were just way too many key doors. Didn't want to commit to it.
Yeah.
Although AA did manage to get through it. Yep, dead end. Alright. We got our 666 levels, 2 gems still to place. He's going back for that medicine, which is required. Yeah, Ellendar has beaten Palace 1 at this point, but 3 is behind the flute.
Yeah, 1 was Valley of Death.
Yeah, so that just needs to be marked off. And really quick medicine after Guma. So now just have to get to Mito, and AA will have every single spell. Yeah, Ellendar's placed the gem. Okay. Still have to find the flutes. That's kind of the biggest unknown right now for AA.
Yeah. And AA doesn't know which palace is VOD and which one's behind the flute, so we'll see whether he looks for the cave where we know it is, or if he tries Valley of Death first since it's right here.
Yeah, I mean, you can beat whatever palace is in VOD, so it makes sense
Yeah.
to just go and do it. And if it's 3, you dive for the item. If it's 1, you know it's not required, so it's knowledge. That's a fun encounter, though. Yeah, get that fair. Oh, not quick enough. I want to say there are 5 rounds of Swiss. So there's one more round after this. Both of them are going to be in the brackets with the 2 wins they each have, so it's just a matter of seeding.
I'm really excited for brackets just because these flags are getting stale.
Well, you don't have to suffer through them too long.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
I haven't even been practicing these flags. I've just been practicing an arbitrary set that I made.
What's in your arbitrary set?
It's pretty close to finals. It's got Short and Great Palace in it, though, and a couple other things different that just kind of prolong the seed. I didn't turn those on.
It's like Ellendar's just going for the death. I mean, you could just go... Oh, wow, that's actually expensive. Might not have had the magic, actually, at 3.
No.
AA is going through this room for some reason.
Just misidentified the room, maybe?
I don't know.
Might have thought
Just
it was
wanted the key, I guess.
room with the staircase. I don't know.
I do kind of like how Ellendar's experience is all wrapped itself up here. Just like that. Same amount of gems placed, 1 extra level over AA. But Ellendar's quite behind as far as knowledge.
Yeah.
Not sure where Ellendar is going either. There's nothing more in the west they can do without the flute, without the hammer, rather. I was just up A to go back to that raft tile. Might have forgotten something.
Maybe going for one or both of the spell hints? No, there's the up A.
AA is discovering that this P1 is actually kind of a jerk if you want to get to the boss. Every path but the right one. What if Ellendar's gonna go for 5? It's possible. I mean, why not at this point? Yeah, back in GP. 5 is somewhere over here. Up, let me see. Who knows? Yeah, Ellendar might have lost 5 if that's the goal here. Alright, A figures it out. Stabs the guy in his head. 5th gem will be placed for AA. Ellendar has not found 5, assuming that's what we're looking for here. Which, at 667, why not just be 5?
Yeah. Though if it is right next to the Great Palace, you may want to save it for last so you can just go right next door into Great Palace, but he doesn't know the medicine's in there. Might be the goal.
Yeah, it might be. Still missing a lot of free East spells, though. It'd be quite the call to go for it. And, we know the flute is in a P-Bag cave in the East, just through process of elimination. There hasn't been a hunt. AA has dipped Death Mountain for both items. That's,
Yeah.
I think AA probably knows it's in a P-Bag cave at this point. I think all items have been seen. Or hints gotten. It might be in that north section that actually has 3-Eye Rock, which I think is through a pass-through cave because you can't get past River Devil. Yeah, I would say AA has a pretty good lead here. Did AA lead in for Thunder, though? I guess it doesn't matter because GP's in the West. You can just kind of do that at the same time. Yeah, P5 sucks, so having that done is always nice, especially when you have to get both boss and item out of it. Ellendar has not had any luck with the palaces so far. I think that's probably the biggest time loss that's happened.
Yeah, I think if it weren't for the flute block, this race would be a bit closer because Ellendar is going to pick up the medicine out of here, and that's going to end up being the spell that we're looking for, but then the flute's still going to be on the table with a lot of item locations unchecked.
I mean, it depends on how long AA spends trying to find this flute. So far, not a lot of luck. That was kind of fun. Just take the death. Alright, so we're back in the north section. Is there a cave somewhere that is a P-Bag cave? It's not there. Oh wow, it's just right here next to 3-Eye Rock.
Oh, wow.
That's convenient. A little sad that I didn't see that earlier, but that's sometimes what happens. Sometimes your screen is a little too far high or low and you just kind of don't see something. It always sucks. But yeah, AA will just go in, knock out 3. Given what AA has found this seed, he'll probably see the item room with the heart in it.
Yeah, I hope he grabs it. I haven't seen anyone go full Joshi D yet. All he needs is the heart right now.
So magic key not required for full Joshi D?
Don't think so. I think it's just the defensive stuff, and the cross, and the candle. We start with the candle.
So there's a chance. We'll see what path 3 has. If there's an immediate boss, there's no way. Just boss and go.
Yeah. If it were me, I wouldn't grab the heart unless I wanted to meme.
Yeah, it would be totally meme. Unless you had like really low life totals or heart container totals, but
Yeah.
life 7, yeah, no. Gotta
I'd
keep the fight.
I'd also be more likely to get it if I had the magic key so that I'd have the full 100%. But then I'd probably lose by 2 seconds.
Alright, Guma's being unfriendly. Got down to 1, and there, Guma's dead.
Ellendar not get the item out of 5? Oh boy.
Yeah, that's rough. But with all those east things,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think there's any way. GP would have to be something so atrocious that. But nah.
I'm just curious why Ellendar went in there if not for the medicine.
I don't know. I mean, just
Here's
defeat it.
Magic
But...
Pseudo. Ellendar still didn't have a 7th magic container. Wow.
Let's see. I think the hammer's blocking 2, so yeah. Yeah, if we get a chance to interview Ellendar, we can ask about the P5. Alright. Grand Palace.
119 entering Great Palace. Maybe. No, gotta get Thunder first.
Yeah. Where's Mito? Alright, I think it's just over here, so we'll be fine. I mean, AA could have gone to Thunderbird without getting Thunder, and that would have helped Ellendar.
Yeah.
But he was still...
This is the latest I've seen the first of, however many runners in a race get into Great Palace, but it's also the closest to 100% I've seen someone get.
Yeah, AA is extremely close to 100%. And that's all due to Thunder. And Flute. Flute did its part too.
There's Thunder.
50.
Ow.
That is a cheap Thunder.
Yeah. My notes say average Thunder cost at Magic 7 is 71. But it also drops in price a lot at Magic 8, so it's possible that it's just cheap at Magic 8. Or... I say about that backwards, but...
Yeah, Ellendar trades in the kid. Learns that, no, your kid does not matter.
Yeah, AA could already cast Thunder 3 times, or Fairy 3 times per life in Palace 2, so he didn't go for the item. There was a hint telling us that Magic Key was in there, so he knew what he was passing up.
Yeah, and the boss in 2 was basically the first right, so it was just, here's your boss. Do you really want to go back in for a key? AA's decision, no.
It looks like AA is taking some lefts in Great Palace, but, basically 100%ing the seed, you kind of have to think you're behind, even though he's actually got a decent lead. He has no way of knowing that.
And you never know. GP often likes to make you go left, so...
Yeah.
Oh, hello. You don't see this every day. Now, wouldn't it be funny if this GP requires upstab?
Yeah. Does Ellendar have it?
I didn't notice Ellendar getting it. I could have missed it.
Like, I haven't really been paying attention, so for all I know, Ellendar might have gotten it then, early on with the hint for the medicine. Because they both went in there for the hint.
Ellendar has downstab, but no upstab. Yeah. Ellendar just found Darunia earlier and got Reflect. I think that was the first time, so if he didn't get it then, no. Oh! Jackamus Room loops into itself? Nice.
Okay.
Alright, upstab not required through that upstab room. AA still going left, it looks like.
Spells are plus or minus 50% from vanilla, but they're capped at 128, and they're also capped at whatever the next level is, so that a spell can't be cheaper, or it can't cost more when you level up.
If at first the left doesn't succeed, you go left even some more. Because that's the way GP goes.
Just double down on your decision.
fun rooms are always great, but A does kill one of the annoying things. It gets fairy ready for when Skull decides to wreck him, but no. Okay. And that's actually a nice drop.
I don't think the seed was overly terrible, but they both made some decisions that didn't pan out. Like AA, I mentioned earlier, found like 7 items in a row that didn't lead to anything because you got Hammer and went for the Hammer Cave in the west, and Spectacle Rock, and Hammer Cave, and the 2 items in New Kitsudo. Like those all chained and didn't get you anything. So that was probably the trolliest thing in the seed.
I think the biggest thing that kind of set Ellendar back was not going into 4 immediately and going for Death Mountain for Raft.
Yeah.
And AA just knocked out 4. That just kind of held him forward. That and Ellendar's just kind of had some trouble with some of these palaces, figuring out the right path. 6 and 4 in particular. I mean, AA kind of looks like this might be the right path. There's been some options. I don't think we've seen a single drop, which is kind of unusual. I would be very scary if Thunderbird appeared and then just, you know, it splits into multiple drops. Ellendar has learned that either Trophy or Medicine blocks Thunder, so might be regretting some choices. Hopefully Ellendar sees this cave that has the flute in it. Just have to go south, but it's going west. Move.
Ellendar might have the trophy already. I saw him at the tile, but I didn't see him in it.
Oh, he almost certainly has it then. I did see him approaching the tile. Which, if that's the case, just needs to find this flute that's to the right and in that cave. And knock out 3 and then go back into 5 once Trophy doesn't pan out. While AA drops and drops some more. They claim that there's a 50% chance there's a red jar there. I don't know about that one.
I'd believe 33% or 25.
Yeah, I would believe that too, based on my experiences with that. Go south, Ellendar. South, more south. Do not miss it slightly.
Okay, AA versus Thunderbird.
Attack 6, 1 bar of health. This will be fine.
2 extra lives though, so, well, 1 extra life.
I mean, that's probably what's going to happen with 1 bar of health. You just need 1 mistake, basically, and...
Yeah.
Alright, now Ellendar hopefully will be very good about checking this mountain range. So that'll put him on the path to finish him. Alright, you got 4 bars of magic still when you're fighting Thunderbird. And you cast Thunder.
Yeah, you could cast it again for damage. I don't know how much damage it does.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just know not to have that be your final hit, normally.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dig Shake fixed that, but... Goodbye, Thunderbird. And it looks like Ellendar did miss seeing that one little cave just slightly. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well,
There you
they
go.
both did. Ellendar's back in Maze Island. I don't think you ever found the other item.
No. So he's searching and he'll find that heart.
Yeah. I don't think you had to go through any encounters to find it, though. Maybe one.
I think it was pretty free if you go up in that section he's in right now.
Maybe it was the other turn. There we go. AA has finished. 129-28.
Looks like Ellendar is forfeited. GG's to AmazingAmpharos.
Yeah, missing that flute. Not exactly on the path to the finish, but pretty close still. Let's see.
Yeah, so AA will be joining us. I think Ellendar is also going to be joining us. Hey, Ellendar. GG, rough seed. And .ff doesn't count as a quit, by
Sorry,
the way.
I was trying to use the bot. I couldn't figure it out.
Oh,
I don't know.
issues.
I'm a bit flustered. It's fine. I'm trying to figure out how to. If you can, I can't go back into the channel at this point to quit, but
You should be able to.
it is not letting me. Let me figure out what's wrong. Anyway, GG.
Well, you did quit out of IRC entirely, so.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hey, AmazingAmpharos, GG.
Hello and thanks. So yeah, I didn't skip anything, but it went okay, that being the case.
Yeah,
Now you
not a bad
you
finish
left the
time
heart
for
in 3.
100%. Yeah, heart in 3, magic key, but you knew what both of those were.
Yeah, I knew about the 500p bag in 1, I knew about the magic key in 2, and by process elimination I knew about the heart in 3. It was really pretty sad that was 1 and not 3 in GP's slot, but what do you do?
Yeah.
So, Thunder behind Medicine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was feeling real bad about how I was doing in this race. The second both items in New Kasuto were 500 bags. After, remember, I game over and lost attack 5 on the East Continent, like 30 points away from it. And then the child redeemed for Reflect, which was, of course, completely useless because we had Fire Reflect and 4 was already cleared.
Yeah, we noticed there was a big chain of items you got around the time you got the kid that ultimately none of it led to anything, like the 2 500 bags in New Katsudo. And kid was Reflect, and there was like something else in Death Mountain and in the West Boulder Cave that weren't really too useful.
The other 2 magic containers, the first
yeah.
of which helped me get that juicy 500p bag, the other of which I dug out of the depths of Death Mountain. And yeah, at least like Death Mountain wasn't the slowest in the world. Like it took me a while to find my way to the main body of it in the east, but once I got there, I found Hammer Cave and the Rock very quickly.
Yeah, they were both accessible from the boots at least, but you had to find a cave that took you there, and there were a couple caves that didn't help you at all.
Yeah, but I kind of knew it was a gamble there, because, you know, my thinking was, so we have 4 spell slots left, one of which requires digging P5, and that's obviously very slow. I still need Thunder. I know one of them's in Death Mountain. I haven't seen the glove. That could be the other item in DM. And I have no idea if the flute's required. That could be in DM. I know where both DM entrances are, and have already checked the areas around them pretty well. I have the hammer and the boots. This is never going to be easier. This might actually make sense, especially because I've gotten most of the loose items in the East already. And then it just didn't pay off in any way at all.
Were you a bit sad about where the flute actually ended up being?
Oh man, that... So, I think I checked that cave in the north. I ended up double checking. You know, I checked that whole area to the east. I just didn't see that cave to the south of 3-Eye Rock. But I knew there were just a ton of caves I hadn't checked in the center of the East Continent. I was like, okay, this makes sense. I'll see if there's anything way out west up here. Nothing. I'll up A. I'll get the medicine, which I have to do anyway. I'll do the Palace and GP slot. 50-50, it's 3. And if it's 3, it's likely to be the flute. Otherwise, I'm looking for the second P-Bag cave, and that'll have the flute. And then it was in the most obnoxious spot, which, I mean, it was actually kind of funny. Like, while being annoyed at how the seed was hurting me, I got a chuckle. And you could probably tell from my GP routing, I was 100% convinced I was behind going into GP. I was like, I'm going anti-meta. I'm just going left until things happen.
Yeah, Ellendar right at the end did about the same thing you did, exploring up by 3-Eye Rock and just missed the cave that had the flute in it. But finding flute and getting the medicine was about all that was left to do over there. Then Palace 3 and GP.
I lost so much time in every dungeon. It was rough.
Yeah, I saw you kind of circled around in 6. 6 in particular seemed to be the roughest for you.
Yeah, I got lost in 6. I did a stupid experience route in 2. I full cleared 1. It was just like, at that point I was just looking over, waiting for the dot done. And I was thinking of, like, when I was in 5, I was thinking, this has taken a while. Maybe I should try to dig out the medicine from here, because I think it was only like maybe 1 in... I still hadn't checked a lot of spell locations. It was like 1 in 4 that it was required. And I was like, no, I think I should just keep going quickly, and maybe there's some other, way I can catch up. But, and then to find out that it ended up being that, it was like,
Yeah, with the spell I needed being Thunder, which is of course not needed until GP, and having the hint for medicine in 5 being on the same side as GP and easily accessible, I'm like, this is my 8th spell, pretty much no matter what. Part of why I made the DM call was to reinforce my call that the medicine was my 8th spell. Unfortunately, it was the spell, but so it goes, right? But that's why I just avoided 5 until I knew for sure I needed medicine, because I wanted to know going in if I needed to hunt it or not.
Yeah, that's not a terrible decision, though. It was a choice between 5 and Death Mountain, like you were saying, but sometimes it could pay off no matter which one you choose.
It was actually fortunate in 5. Like,
yeah.
My dungeon routing did work out pretty well for me. Like, my route in 5 was relatively direct to Guma, and then I looked around. Like, Guma was deep in 5, but it was relatively direct, and then the item was just, like, the last left back, so that was pretty great. And, my route in 3 was a straight shot. 2, I was very quick. 1 wasn't very quick. I think there's only 1 room I didn't see. 4 was okay. I knocked 4 out so early. 6 was just an obnoxious dungeon, but it definitely could have been worse.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw both of you the first time you got to the Canadian hole had trouble getting over it. And then when you finally get past it was a dead end over there.
I planned to fall in it from the beginning.
Ah, okay. It looked kind of like there was the blue knuckle throwing stuff at you. It looked like you might have missed time to jump to get over one of the swords and just jumped in to avoid the damage, but I would believe that too.
I just jumped because, it's the speedrun physics thing. You jump to fall in holes instead of walk into them, so you accelerate downward.
Ah, there you go.
But yeah, I'm a huge believer in palaces when you just want to find the boss to... because I'd found the item in 6 early. I wasn't that interested in items at that point. Little did I know the flute was required. But I already had 6's item. If you just need the boss, drops are your friend, because the one guarantee you have in this randomizer is that all drops will either loop back to the entrance or will lead to the boss. And there's so many possible palace configurations where the drops just don't go back to start, so there's a really enhanced probability drops lead to the boss. Like in GP, where every drop was in direct sequence straight to Thunderbird and Darklink.
Yeah.
Of course, it's always funny when it turns out that every drop is a sequence back to left of start, but not in this case.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of ways it can be. Just, I feel like the numbers game says that if you have a choice between a drop or exploring a non-drop and you want a boss, the drop is right more often. But yeah, that was pretty exciting. Always good to get a little bit of that full clear action in our lives. And GG, Ellendar.
Yep, GG.
Yeah, Ellendar still had to go back to 5 for medicine. Killed Guma, decided not to go for medicine. Was there... I mean, you had some spells left in the east, so did you just not want to spend the time in 5?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I was behind at that point because I screwed up so much in the earlier dungeons, and I still... Somehow I missed, like, I didn't have Old Kasuto, I had missed Darunia, and so I had I had the trophy, I think, by that point, so there was like 4 towns left to check, and I figured, well, it's 1 in 4, I only need Thunder, and it's probably not going to be that, and I need to take at least some kind of a gamble to catch up. And like everything else in the seed, it was the wrong end of the gamble.
Oh man, that's what was scary this seed, is because when you were playing it, you have to have the thought, this could be a really fast seed. Like, you had Fire paired with Reflect, which totally liberated you from having to visit Death Mountain. The glove was just free on Maze Island. The boots were easy. The flute was right by 3-Eye Rock. Like, the only thing is you had to dig the medicine out of P5, but if you made all the right calls, which it sounds like neither of us did at all, you could have destroyed this seed.
This definitely could have been a fast one.
Yeah, Ellendar, I don't know if you noticed, but south of 3-Eyed Rock, right north of a River Devil, was a cave that had the flute. You were like one tile away from scrolling to see it when you were
Oh man, I thought I had caught everything up there. I mean, I would have ended up being like almost the last place I looked, right? Like, I didn't have the hammer, so I didn't have much else to search. I never found the desert tile. I think that was the only like thing that was still in logic that I could have looked for.
The desert tile was right by the other P-Bag cave, and the other P-Bag cave had the hammer. It was kind of... You hooked around to the south, and then, if like the GP slot kind of formed a nook to the east of the GP slot, you had to go through some swamp and some forest, and I game over there 30 points from getting attack 5, and I was really sad.
Yeah, the only thing that didn't go horribly wrong for me was experience. That was pretty healthy shape there, but yeah, no, I mean, part of the reason I had so much experience is from full clearing every dungeon.
Yeah, the drops were interesting. I saw a 500 P-Bag early and thought this would be a pretty free experience seed, but then it was actually a really rare drop, and
yeah, I think it was...
There were no keys in the drop pool either, as far as I could tell, so that was kind of limiting.
When I went to Maze Island and got the glove, I immediately turned back around and went to 2 because Fairy was still so expensive. Like, even on 3 containers, I could only cast it once, and I'm like, I'm getting this magic key.
Yeah, I probably would have dug the magic key if I'd found 2 earlier. 2 was just one of the later things I'd found, and I already had like Magic 6 by the time I found it, and Fairy had gotten cheap. And I had every magic container, so I could cast a lot. The Fairy spell and I got very familiar with each other this season.
You have anything else you guys want to add about the seed?
I'd say that just about covers it from my end. It was a interesting experience. Good little full clear act.
Got anything else, Countess?
Nothing for me.
Well, in that case, let me add my GGs to both AmazingAmpharos and Ellendar. AA is now, what, 3-1? Ellendar 2-2, both moving on to brackets, but one more week of Swiss. We do have, in a few minutes, about 15 minutes on the main channel, we have another 4-way race. We got a... okay, come on, work with me here. We have Amazing Toaster versus Lightning, and Dr. J PhD versus Ryan 7. So that'll be taking place about 15 minutes. Want to say big thanks to our to our tracker today, who is not me, but I'm there anyway. Shiorelli, forgive me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. And a big thanks to our two commentators, Thierwolf and the Countess. So, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Thierwolf, if you had any final thoughts.
Nope, just GG's all. Thanks for the restream.
Alright, so we are going to go ahead and cut for the night here, but see you guys in about 15 minutes on the main channel for another race.
Thank you.